Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Political Ray. We've got some news. Okay, so first off, I just want to say I do have to put out a little correction on my previous video on Friday, saying that Mahmoud Khalil has not been deported. I said in my previous video that he had been. I have to retract that and tell you that I was wrong, and I'll admit when I was. He has not been deported. He's still in ICE custody. And as far as I understand it, he has not been deported yet. He is still just in custody. Now, that being said, uh, the big news is the pardons. President Biden's pardons for the J6 committee, for Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, etc., etc. The pardon for his son, Hunter Biden. President Trump has put out a statement this morning around 12:30 in the morning, put out a statement saying that these are null and void because of the fact that they were used to be signed with autopen. Those of you who don't know, autopen is just a program. You do it when you go do your taxes, the H&R Block. You sign one time, the rest of it's pretty much done with an auto pen. They just take that same signature, they put it on there, they ask you, if you still agree to it, but the signature, you only do it once, and then it's auto signature the rest of the time. So that's what it is. We've got that. We've also got, the left is losing their minds over this because that's just what they do. They just lose their minds. But we've got that. Plus, we've got a self-deportation out of the Columbia University story. And we've got a judge who tried to halt the deportation of gang members going back to Venezuela, the trans Negro, however you say it, gang. Terrible people, and they don't want them outside of the U.S., apparently. So these people are evil, and we're going to get into this. But this is getting nuts. But anyway, so we've got the big story, like I said, is the auto pen. Like I said, this morning at about 12:30 in the morning, President Trump put out a truth on his Truth Social, and it's all over X. It's all anybody's talking about now. And the left is losing their minds over this. But here, we'll take a look at this. This is President Trump's truth from this morning. So this says the pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the unselect committee of political thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done by autopen. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them, but more importantly, he did not know anything about them. The necessary pardoning documents were not explained to or approved by Biden. He knew nothing about them, and the people that did may have committed a crime. Therefore, those on the unselect committee who destroyed and deleted all evidence obtained during their 2-year witch hunt of me, and many other innocent people should fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level. The fact is, they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without the knowledge or consent of the worst president in history of our country, crooked Joe Biden. Now, this is massive. Okay, look, and the auto pen story has been floating around for a little while now, a couple weeks, or if I'm not mistaken, it's been at least a week or two. So President Trump coming out, this makes me think that he's got some insider knowledge as to something else. He's got insider knowledge to something that we don't know. Makes me think that he's got the inside scoop on some of this stuff. Look, and the story goes is Biden wasn't even at the White House when a lot of these pardons were being signed. So, you don't have to be at the White House to sign a pardon, I guess, but he could have done it at his house in Delaware or on the beach where he spent a lot of his time, or who knows? But there's a lot of stuff. This is just nuts. I'm going to show you guys this. This is the auto pen. This is just something that somebody put up on X, and it just shows pretty much, everything. Because look, if you're somebody who signs your name a lot, me, I sign my name almost every day at my work. If you got to log something out or you need your signature on something, or you know, just writing your name on a piece of paper, signing it. People that work in offices do it a lot. A lot of people sign their name every day, and people who do sign their name a lot, that it never comes out exactly the same every time. This is autopen. This is what it does. It takes your signature and just fills it in there on the last signature that you made. This is what it does. But anyway, this is the video. Take a look. This is just you know Biden family pardon, the J6 committee pardon, Dr. Fauci pardon, General Milley pardon. I can't read that other one. The oversight project. Now take a look at this. They all come together and they're all going to line up. Check it out. That is autopen. Now the left is going to lose their mind over this and tend to do as they do. But look, and I understand the fact that you can't just, as a president, you can't just override a previous president's pardon. But that being the case, I know that President Trump understands this. He can't just go out there and say, "Well, these are now null and void." There's a process that has to take place, but it has to go to. I'm pretty sure it goes. I don't know if it just goes to a judge or if it goes to the Supreme Court and they overturn it. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I would imagine that if Trump sent this up to a judge, I cannot, for the life of me, know why it wouldn't get pushed through and these would eventually get voided because of the fact that they were auto-penned. And if Trump has some kind of evidence saying that Biden didn't even know that these were being signed, the only one I can think of is maybe Hunter Biden, because Joe put out a statement about it. So I could see that one maybe still holding up, but the J6 committee, Dr. Fauci, Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, Shifty, I can't see a judge not saying, there's something shady about this. Especially the fact that Trump has to have some kind of evidence. That's what I think. He's got to have some kind of evidence supporting the fact that Joe didn't have any idea that this was actually going on. That's what I think. Because that's got to be the case. Because I don't know why he would just come out and say this and say that these are going to be null and void, unless he's got the evidence to back it up. I mean, obviously you can see just from that last video where the signatures come together, you can tell that it was auto pen. I mean, nobody is going to sign their name exactly the same in 5 different instances. It's just not going to happen. I'm telling you, as someone who signs their name every day, it's never the same. It's never the same. I'm just saying. Unless you actually, I don't have time to write it out perfectly. I don't. And especially if you're signing crap. If you're the president of the United States and you're signing stuff every single day, you're not going to have the time to make sure that every little curve and swivel and stroke of that pen is going to be exactly the same every single time. I don't see it's not possible. I don't think it is. I don't. Anyway, like I said, he can't just come out and say it, and then it happens to just go in. You can't just override these. It does have to go through a process. Yada yada yada. Again, I'm going to digress and repeat myself over and over, but we'll just move on here. Now the left, they're losing their crap over this. This is from old JoJo from Jers. Look, this woman, and I just got to say, because she is all over X. I see her posts pretty much every single day. This is the most hateful and spiteful woman I've ever seen online. And I'm being honest with you. I've never seen somebody come out and throw so many curse words out every single day. And she's posting a bunch of times on X because I see her stuff every single day. She is a very hateful woman. That's my opinion. But anyway, excuse me. Here's the thing, F-face. We knew you were going to try this crap, but you can't void another president's pardons. The Constitution is extremely clear on this. You traitorous piece of blah, blah, blah. She's a hateful woman. I'm not a fan of her. Don't like her, but I see her stuff all the time. My personal opinion, She's getting a lot of clicks and she's getting paid a lot of money by X. So, I mean, you do you, I guess. But she's very, very spiteful. And I think a lot of these people that spout this kind of stuff, a lot of them are they're just evil and they want clicks. But anyway, let's see. The next one here, we got George Conway says psychotic. I don't think so. I mean, I guess if you want to. Ron Philipkowski, welcome to the autocracy. The republic we have known for the last 240 years is gone. This is going to keep getting worse, much worse. The courts mean nothing. The law means nothing. Congress is irrelevant. It's like, I mean, they're losing their minds over this. And like I said before, again, I know that President Trump can't just come out and say, "Oh, they're null and void." There is a process, and he knows that too. He's not dumb, okay? He's been around the block a few times, and he knows how this kind of stuff works. You have to go through a process. He's not stupid. He knows he can't just come out and say that these are null and void. He was on Air Force One, and we'll take a look at this real quick. This is him on Air Force One. The audio is very low on this. It's hard to hear him, but there's you can read the subtitles that they got up there. So we'll take a look at this. Like I said, he's not an idiot. He knows he can't just come out and null and void these things. He knows there's a process. And again, he's got to have something. He's got to have something, that we don't know about. I think he's got evidence to prove his case. So like I said, I don't know if it goes before one judge or if it goes up to the Supreme Court. I'm not sure. But methinks that he's got the evidence he needs to overturn these. So we'll take a look at this video. You can tell me what you think, but I think he knows something we don't. Again, here we go. Take a look at this.
Autopen. Are those executive orders, those pardons from the former president now null and void?
Well, I think so. It's not my decision. That'll be up to a court. But I would say that they're null and void.
There you go. He said it's not my decision. It's up to the courts. He's not stupid. He knows that he can't just do this. It has to go through the system, and we can take it from there. Again, methinks that he's got some evidence that we don't know about. He's not dumb. He's got to have something that we don't know about he's gonna submit to the courts and say, look, they're null and void. I mean, like I said, in a lot of these cases where these were signed by that autopen, Biden was nowhere around. And again, I know you're going to say, Ray, well, he can sign them anywhere. I understand that. But there's other fact. I think there was a couple of them that were actually signed at the White House by autopen, and Biden was off doing something else somewhere else, taking his week-long beach vacation in Delaware at his house. I don't know. Other stuff that he did not being at the White House, I don't know. But there's a lot of these cases where that autopen was used and Biden was nowhere to be found. So I think that President Trump might actually have some evidence to prove that fact. But let's continue this one.
Because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea that it was taking place. And somebody was using an autopen to sign off and to give pardons to, as an example, just one example, but the J6 Unselect Committee. They gave pardons with an autopen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it. And what they did is they deleted and destroyed all of the information that took them over a year to get. And the reason they did that is because the information was very incriminating about them. Like Nancy Pelosi, it was determined conclusively that she knew about 10,000 soldiers and turned it down. And if we use 500 autopen.
And he's not wrong. Pelosi knew about, potential threats during January 6th. She was offered 10,000 reserve troops. She turned it down. And there's a video evidence of, I think it was her daughter that was in the car with her, and Pelosi pretty much admitted to the fact that she turned it down. Why didn't we have them there? And yada, yada, yada. But look, there's all kinds of evidence on these J6 committees, and I think that's why they got those pardons. There's all kinds of shady stuff going on. I mean, it's just I'll just say it one more time. I think President Trump has information, he has evidence. Otherwise, I don't see that he would could just straight out that truth that he put out. I don't see him putting that out unless he actually had evidence and facts to back up his claims. I just don't think it would be a thing. Maybe he's just BSing. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be. I mean, you just never know. This is wild. This is going to be the talk of everything for weeks to come. But we'll see what happens. I mean, if it goes to a court, we'll see. If it doesn't go anywhere, we'll see. If it just fades away into the distance, like the Epstein files. I mean, everyone's talking about Epstein, and that's just gone now too. Nobody knows anything about that. Pam Bondi hasn't said jack all about it, except for they're going through some more files. That's it, and that was it. She's taking every opportunity to come on Fox News, but we haven't seen anything of note other than the fact that her and Cash did arrest a couple of military personnel. There was 2 people that they arrested, but other than that, we haven't, you know. And good. I mean, I'm glad that they arrested these 2 people because they were selling secrets. Apparently, that's what they came out and said. But I don't think we'll see anything as far as the Epstein files. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong on that, but we'll see. So we got somebody who got their self-deportation from Columbia University after the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil. I think that's how you say his name, but I don't care anyway. So this is from the Post Millennial. DHS revokes visa of second Columbia student. Another self-deports after Mahmoud Khalil arrest. Report. This is crazy. Now, my opinion, I don't think he should be in custody anymore. I think he needs to be gone. Send him away. Send him back to where he comes from. This guy is actively protesting, and they took over the library. I forget what something hall. I forget what it was called, but anyway, I think it's in the article here. They actively took over the library. That's not a protest. That's a riot. They forcefully moved past the security guards into the library. And yeah, they didn't do much after that. They sat around in the halls, made the staff leave. But that's still violence. They forcefully made their way into that hall. This guy should be deported. He's here on a visa. He's here as a guest. You need to conduct yourself appropriately. This guy he's an active Hamas supporter, and he was handing out flyers that had "Death to America" on them. The guy is here as a guest, and he hates America. And he's getting a free $80,000 a year education at this school. Send him back. There's no reason for him to be here. I don't care if he's still in ICE detention. Send him back. Nobody wants him here. Send him back. And if you're the person saying, "Well, we shouldn't deport this guy. He was just protesting." That's his right. He was a visa holder. No, I don't care. He's here as a guest for one. For two, he should not be even protesting. I understand as a guest here, he does have the right to protest. I get that. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. But the fact that he actively, handing out flyers saying "Death to America," forcefully making your way into the library, this guy can go. He can go. I don't care. You're not a good person if you're defending this guy, because he does not love America. He hates America, and I say let him go back to the country that he loves. Let him go back. I don't care. Anyway. Oh, okay. Anyway, a second foreign student in the U.S. to study on a student visa has reportedly been arrested by agents with the Department of Homeland Security. She was involved in pro-Palestine protests at Columbia University. This comes after Mahmoud Khalil was detained by DHS, his green card revoked by the Department of State, and is facing deportation over his involvement in the protests at Columbia in the wake of October 7th attacks in Israel. And I'm going to tell you this too. It does not matter. The Secretary of State, meaning Marco Rubio, he has the right to revoke this guy's visa and send him home. He has that right. And it does not matter. The way I understand it, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to have a reason. He could just not like the guy, he doesn't like his face. His arms are too long. It doesn't matter. He can revoke this guy's visa and send him packing. There doesn't have to be a reason. Marco Rubio has that power. Anyway, let's see. According to the New York Post, the second student, Lika Cordia, was allegedly advocating for violence and terrorism. They all were. Cordia, who is a Palestinian from the West Bank of Israel, was arrested by agents working with DHS and had allegedly overstayed her visa in the United States. Well, if her visa's gone, she needs to go home. Yeah. Additionally, an Indian student who was involved in the protests at Columbia, I'm going to butcher this name, Ranjani Srinivasa, has self-deported after her visa was revoked by the State Department on March 5th. She was a doctoral student at Columbia and a teaching fellow at Barnard College. On Tuesday, she was seen rushing to catch a plane at LaGuardia Airport to flee to Canada. Okay. I guess she's Canada's problem now. These people are anti-America. Why do you want them? Why are you defending them? There's been marches and protests about free Khalil, blah blah blah. This guy does not love America. Why do you want this person to stay? It boggles my mind. I'll never understand it. Why do you want somebody who hates America to be in America? If he hates America, let him go back to the country that he loves. I don't understand why you're protesting in favor of this guy. I don't understand it. It just boggles my mind. There's no sense in any of this. Oh my gosh. Anyway. The arrest and self-deportation of the students involved in the protest comes after ICE detained Khalil, who helped to lead an anti-Israel Columbia protest and was the spokesperson for the protesters who occupied campus and took over Hamilton Hall in April of 24. Khalil is married to a U.S. citizen. I don't care. I don't. People are, his wife is pregnant. Well, you shouldn't have been protesting and creating violence then. Duh, that's it. You hate America. Why are you here? Because they want to uproot our system. They're here to create unrest and violence. Send him home. I don't care. You can call me crass. You can call me hateful. I don't care. The guy is here. He hates America. Send him back to the country he loves. He doesn't want to be here other than to just start the crap like this. And if you defend him, shame on you. That's how I feel. That's what I think. Anyway, while Democrats have argued that the Department of Justice has illegally detained Khalil in a form of retaliation in violation of the First Amendment, that's not true. The First Amendment does not cover violence. If the guy's, like I said, you're here as a guest, I don't think that you should protest. But that's just my opinion. That's how I think. This guy may have started out as a protest, but it turned violent when they forcefully made their way into that library, the Hamilton Hall. That's done. Gloves are off at that point. And I don't blame Marco Rubio for taking away his visa. I don't care. The guy wants the fall of America. Let him go back to his own country. I don't care. I don't want those kind of people within the United States. I don't. You can call me harsh. You can call me whatever you want. I don't want that kind of person here in America. That's it. Let's see. The DOJ has said that he was legally arrested because his green card was revoked by the State Department. Yes, valid point. It was revoked. They have the right to arrest him. He's here illegally now. He is currently in detention in Louisiana as the Trump administration and his 19 attorneys sort out where his hearing should take place. I don't think there should be a hearing. That, like I said, you can call me harsh, you can call me crazy, whatever you want to do, but I don't think there should be a hearing. He actively called for violence against the United States. Send him packing. Get him gone. On Friday, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche told reporters that the protest led by Khalil on campus at Columbia violated civil rights laws and included terrorism crimes. Yes. Done. I don't care. Send him back. Send him home. I don't care. Additionally, the Trump administration is investigating Columbia University for harboring and concealing illegal aliens on its campus. That's going to be interesting. I am very interested to see what that investigation produces. I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see that. Anyway, Christy Nome told reporters on Friday that it is a privilege to be granted a visa to live and study in the United States of America. Yes, it is. The guy was getting an $80,000 a year education for free. The guy was here. I mean, and then he's going to go and say, "Oh, death to America," and I hate this place, and we should be rioting. But no, send him home. I don't care. When you advocate for violence and terrorism, that privilege should be revoked. Yes, I 100% agree. There's nope. Mm-mm. You call for violence against the U.S. You call for the death of America. You don't need to be here. That's how I feel. That's what I think. Khalil was part of the radical Columbia University apartheid divest, which has been active in organizing protests in the New York school. The group also spearheaded the occupation of Columbia's Hamilton Hall in April during the string of demonstrations. And I've showed you this before, but this is the video of them forcing their way into Hamilton Hall, the library at this university. It's violent. It shouldn't have happened. If you want to protest and wave your little signs outside, then I'm fine. If you're here on a visa, I don't think you should do this, but that's just my opinion. I don't think you should have the right to protest if you're here as a guest. That's just my opinion. But anyway, take a look at the video. This is I've shown it before, but we're gonna look at it again. Look, that's destruction of property, forceful entry, whatever you want to say. These people should not be here. According to a student journalist who reported that the Columbia protest in the spring at Columbia, writing at Political, Khalil was a lead negotiator representing the student protesters to Columbia administration during the school's Gaza Solidarity encampment. Good for him. Let's see. I don't think I've seen this video yet. Let's take a look at this. This is police prepared to enter Hamilton Hall at Columbia University. I don't think I've seen this yet. Let's take a look. I have not seen this. Are they going through a window? That's nuts. I didn't show anything. Okay. That's crazy. They're going through a window though. Anyway, that's that one. Look, again, I'll just say it one more time. You're here as a guest. You're getting an $80,000 a year education for free. And he's still going to come out and say death to America. And they're going to forcefully make their way in. This guy was supposedly their lead negotiator. Why are you forcefully making your way into the library? Destruction of property, forceful entry, whatever you want to call it. This guy doesn't need to be here. I don't care. Deport him. We'll see. I mean, they said his trial's coming up, his hearing, whatever you want to call it. It's coming up, so we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. I don't think he should be here. I think this should send him back to where the country that he supposedly loves so much, because he doesn't like America. So why is he here? Make it make sense. It doesn't. Anyway, let's see. We'll go ahead and go on to this story. Federal judge orders deportation flights carrying illegal Venezuelan gangbangers to return to U.S. Blocks Trump from invoking Alien Enemies Act. Look, I know this act was it was a long time ago. Was it 1938, 37, something like that? I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure the exact year, but it was a long time ago. This guy. Okay, look, I'm gonna show you. As far as I understand it, when this judge did this, the flights were already like mid-flight, and this judge is saying turn the plane around. What? No. These people. I've said this 100 times. I'll probably say it 100 more because this crap just keeps happening. Why? Why does the left insist on defending people who are here illegally, for one? Look, if you want to better yourself, you come to America, you're trying to make a better life for yourself and your family, that's one thing. I still don't agree with you coming across the border illegally. But it's a completely different story when you have gang members from a very notorious gang within Venezuela, and President Trump has come out and declared them a terrorist group, them and MS-13. But why? Why do you want these people to stay within the United States? The left is obsessed with the fact that Donald Trump is deporting these people. Tom Homan is taking care of business. ICE is doing their job. You know, Kristi Noem's doing her job. Homeland Security is doing their job. They're getting these violent gang members outside of our country. They're getting them out. I will never understand the left coming out and defending, trying to keep these people inside the United States. I will never understand. These people, they're rapists, they're murderers, and I'll probably get taken off of YouTube for saying that. But maybe not, because I don't have that big of a following. But the fact remains, these people are evil. They're not good people. So why are you advocating to keep them within the United States? It does not make sense. It makes you an evil person. If you're the kind of person who wants that kind of person to stay inside the United States, you're not a good person. You're evil. And I know I say that a lot, but they just keep pulling this crap. And I will never understand them wanting to advocate and keeping these murderers and these kinds of people within the United States. I mean, there was a story about a judge who let 3 illegal aliens, he let them go, gave them probation, whatever, I think it was probation. Gave them probation after they sexually assaulted a 14-year-old. 3 of them, illegal aliens, just let them back onto the streets. Those people, those judges, these leftists, these Democrats who are advocating for this are evil people. Change my mind. Have a conversation with me. Let me know what you think. I don't think you can change my mind. The fact that you advocate to keep these people within the United States and then just let them out of jail. You can't convince me otherwise that these people are trying to do good things for the U.S. You can't. It seems to me like they just want the downfall of America. But anyway, I digress. A little rant, I'm sorry. We'll take a look at this. A federal judge temporarily blocked President Trump on Saturday for invoking the 18th Century Alien Enemies Act to swiftly deport alleged Venezuelan gang members without a hearing, ordering any flights carrying the supposed criminals to turn around. Look, as far as I understand it, I could be wrong on this, but the way I understand it is a judge does not have the authority to supersede the president of the United States. He is the head of the executive branch. As far as I understand it, somebody wanted to go against it, it would have to be the Supreme Court. And that's why there's 9 of them, and it has to be a unanimous vote. I don't think that just one judge can supersede the orders of the president. I don't think that that's how it goes. Again, I could be wrong. I don't think I am. You can let me know. U.S. Judge James, I don't know how to even say his last name, quickly ordered the Trump administration to halt all removals after the commander-in-chief signed off on a presidential action invoking the 1798 law. Oh, I was way off. 1798. I was thinking early 1900. I was way off. Anyway, y'all can admonish me for that one. Aimed at targeting Venezuelan prison gang Tren de Aragua, the Washington Post reported. The chief judge in the District of Columbia said he heard that flights are actively deporting and directed U.S. officials to have planes in the air carrying migrants returned to the United States, the outlet reported. They're not going to turn a plane around. Look, the fact that this guy just come out and look, as far as I understand, it wasn't even like anything written or anything. It was just him coming out and saying, look, you cannot tell, especially just saying it. At least put it in writing, at least do that. This guy just came out and just told the president, said, you better turn that plane around. I'd have done the same thing if I was President Trump, if I was in that shoes and that judge came to me and I'm the president of the United States and he says, turn that plane around. Like, go screw yourself. I'm not doing what you tell me to do. The guy's the head of the executive branch. We, the people, voted him into that position. He's doing what in a lot of people, are you regret voting for him yet? No. Is this what you wanted? Yes, it's exactly what I wanted. It's what I voted for. I don't want these types of people to have any kind of amnesty within the United States. They shouldn't be here. They came here illegally for one. They're dangerous people. They're murderers. They commit all kinds of heinous crimes. They shouldn't be here. I don't care. The fact that he, invoked the 1798, law, fine. It gets him out quicker. These are not good people. And the fact that you're advocating for them to stay here makes you evil. I don't care. You can try and change my mind. I don't think you will. Anyway, the chief judge, read that one. My bad. Any plane, this is the judge. Anyway, a plane containing these folks that is going to take off or is in the air needs to be returned to the United States. However, that is accomplished. No. I don't care. No. Anyway. The temporary ruling will put a 14-day restraining order on the use of Wartime Act, which the Trump administration hopes to use to deport any migrants as it identifies as a gang member. Look, these people aren't hard to identify. They're not. Most of them got the tats representing their gang. They're not hard to identify. And whatever you can do to get them out of this country quicker, I'm all for it. I don't care. Get them out. They're not good people. They don't need to be here. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. A brief delay in the removal does not cause the government any harm, he said, noting that the detainees will remain in government custody. I know. Just send them packing. Like I said, any way that you can push to get them out quicker, I'm all for. They don't need to be here. Anyway, that's enough of that. That's just I'm just getting angry talking about that one. Now, Jasmine Crockett, she came out and talked about this. Yes, our favorite person. She's making the headlines every day, seems like. But Jasmine Crockett was on MSNBC and talking about this. We'll take a look. Y'all can tell me what you think. I don't think she's a good person. That's just my opinion, though. Take a look.
To deport undocumented Venezuelans that the administration say are dangerous individuals with ties to the gang Tren de Aragua. That gang is obviously associated with a lot of crime, human trafficking, drug dealing, theft, shootings.
No kidding.
In your state of Texas, right outside of your congressional district. Do you agree with this? And if not, what's your issue with the U.S. using any tool at its disposal to remove undocumented violent people from this country?
Well, my argument is that we already have tools that are available to remove undocumented violent people from our country. And so the idea that you want to go into a zombie law, this is kind of like what we saw in Arizona when they decided to revive a zombie law around abortion. It is the fact that we can't trust this administration to actually use a scalpel, but instead they love to use a butcher knife on things. And so giving them this wide latitude to just kind of go across and just claim that anybody is anything is wrong. And so we do have courts, we do have processes, we do have laws, and we should just go ahead and use those. There's a reason that nobody else has decided to go back until into Adam's times in order to try to find ways to make sure that we can keep our country safe.
She is not a good person. I'll say it again. She's not a good person. She is evil. Anybody who advocates to keep them within the country is an evil person. And yes, she comes out, she says, "Oh, we have laws on the books." Yeah, we do. Laws on the books that's going to hurt the American taxpayer dollar. Because look, say we use the laws on the books the way it's written now. It's a long, drawn-out process. We're going to spend money keeping them in prison, feeding them, housing them, giving them clothes, everything else. It's not something... And then who knows how long it's going to take for the court date. Could be 6 months, could be a year, could be 2 years. More wasted money. Then you got lawyers' fees and everything else. They're going to have a defense lawyer, blah, 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 blah. It's a long, drawn-out process that wastes money. Why not? You know who they are. Get rid of them. That's it. Change my mind. If I'm wrong, you can let me know. I don't think so. These people are just... Anyway. We got another clip here. We'll take a look at this. Again, I don't think... NBC News, this one. Look, it frustrates me. I don't think that these people should be in the United States. Any action that gets them out quicker, I'm all for.
Our new NBC News poll, as you just saw, shows the Democratic Party at an all-time...
Okay, this is, the Democratic Party is losing, and they're losing badly. People like Jasmine Crockett, people like, I'm drawing a blank, Tim Walz. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Anyway, Kamala, where's she gone to? We see her once in a while. I see an article every now and then about she's, considering running for governor of California, and I think that she's doing that because Gavin Newsom, he wants to be president. I said that in a video before, talking about his little podcast that he did. His first one was with Charlie Kirk. The guy wants to be president, and I think that it wouldn't blow my mind for Kamala to just sneak her way into that governor's seat. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But the Democrat Party is losing ground massively. Their numbers are down. They have very, very poor approval ratings, and they're not learning. They're still doing the same stuff, and I'm here for it. If you want to keep shooting yourself in the foot, it's fine. You're never gonna win another election, and whatever you do, I guess. But they're talking about that. They're talking about that this year. We'll take a look.
Time low approval rating. Why do you think Democrats are failing to connect with Americans at this critical moment of urgency, which you describe?
Well, it's what I just talked about. I mean, I think Americans want the Democratic Party to stand up and fight and to take risks. Listen, I understand that had we gone into a shutdown, even for a handful of days, it would have been difficult. But it would have sent a message that the Democratic Party is not going to be bullied by Donald Trump. We are not going to let them write spending bills unilaterally that cut programs for people we care about, that give the president new and extraordinary power. I think Democrats in this country, but I think the broad middle of the public as well, want to see our party fighting in exceptional ways. That is the conversation that has to happen inside of the Democratic Party, inside our caucus. And if we don't get that right, if we continue to work with Republicans, if we continue to hand Donald Trump more power, we are going to lose our democracy.
I don't think that's the case. I disagree with him wholeheartedly. I think the fact that they're losing so much support and everything else is because of the fact they can't get away from just bashing on people. They're bashing Trump. They're bashing Elon, and that's another thing. I mean, the rhetoric that comes out of their mouth, you know, calling people Hitler and everything else, because they shifted from Trump to Elon. As far as the Nazi thing goes, and now he's having dealerships getting shot up, burned up. You know, people are drawing king swastikas into personal vehicles. Not Could have been a Republican, could have been a Democrat. These people don't know. They just see the Tesla vehicle, and there's people keying cars. There's people keying swastikas into the Cybertruck. I mean, there's a guy, I saw a video, a guy in New York tried to physically assault a family that was driving a Tesla. Because you can't even drive a Tesla anymore. These are the same people that advocated hard. I mean, they went hard at the fact that you had to buy an EV because the climate is in crisis, and you know the Earth is going to implode because we're driving around gas vehicles. Biden pushed the EV mandate, and now they're setting fire to electric vehicles because the person who owns the company they don't like. There was a senator or a congressman, I forget who it was, but he's a prominent guy. I can't think of his name right now, but he traded in his Tesla for a gas guzzling SUV. These are the same people that advocated that the world was ending because of carbon emissions, and they wanted you to buy an EV because the world was going to end if you didn't. Now, just because they don't like Elon Musk, electric vehicles have just. When was the last time you saw one of these Democrats, talking about the environment and how they wanted to push the Green New Deal, and you had to drive electric vehicles because it was better for the environment? It's not, because of the production just to make the vehicle. You'd have to drive that vehicle for 200 or 300 years. I don't remember. It was a lot. It was a long time. You'd have to drive it for a long time just to make up for the emissions put out just to make the vehicle. But anyway, I digress on that one. They don't talk about this stuff anymore because they hate Elon. They don't want to push electric vehicles because they hate Elon. And they hate Trump. Orange man bad. Elon's a Nazi. That's their talking points. That's why they're losing. It's not because of this or that, or we got to stop siding with the Republicans. That's not why you're losing. You're losing because of your rhetoric and because you people are hateful. And it's the only play that they have against them. That's it. That's the only play they got. Anyway, to see these, they're just self-imploding. And, you know, if that's what they want to do, I'm here for it. You know, they'll never win another election. If they keep going down this road, they'll never win another election. Because people are not stupid. People are seeing the rhetoric. I mean, you've got the protesters and the rioters and, you know, the arsons, the looters, the vandalizers. You've got them, sure, but there's a lot of rumors going around about how they're paid protests and paid riots. I mean, there's that too. So, I mean, it's just, they're losing poorly. I mean, look at their numbers. Their approval ratings, what was it, in the 20s or 30s? I can't remember. I think it was the 20s, but they're losing. And if they keep going down the road that they're going with all the hateful rhetoric and everything else, they're not going to win again. That's all there is to it. That's all I got for this morning. Hey, if you like what you saw, please, please, please follow me on Rumble. You can subscribe to me on YouTube if you want, but Rumble's where it's at. Go over to Rumble. Get yourself onto Rumble. It's taking over. Rumble's got a new thing now where they've got a whole lineup of news starting at 9 a.m. in the morning, going till 5 in the evening. You get a whole day's worth of news on Rumble. YouTube doesn't do that. It's a platform of free speech, and I'm here for it. But hey, appreciate you hanging out. You can also follow me on X at ThePoliticalRay. Appreciate you hanging out. Y'all have a great day, and God bless.